welcome to Lesson 8. This is on subtraction facts and fact families. So we've already done addition and now we are going to do subtraction. And this definition is important for you to write down. It says the difference. Difference is our vocabulary word for this lesson, and it's the answer to a subtraction problem. Now we've already learned what the sum is. Our sum is an answer to an addition problem. So now we have the difference, which is an answer to a subtraction problem. So we need to get those two separated and those two aligned to where they're supposed to be, so that whenever I ask what is the difference between 7 and 2, then you're able to tell me, or you're able to give me the answer to the subtraction problem. If I were to ask what is the sum of 7 and 2, you would be able to give me the correct answer by adding together. So we're going to go ahead and start by looking at example 1. Now we have when 7 is subtracted from 12, what is the difference? So I'm not writing this as 7 minus 12. I'm taking 7 away from 12. I'm subtracting 7 from 12. That means I write 12 first. The order does matter on how I write these problems. Addition, it does not matter which order you write it. Whenever you solve it, the answer will be the same. But when I take away and subtract, my order does matter all the time. So I'm taking 7 away from 12, and I want to find what the difference is. So if I have 12 minus 7, I want to find the difference between them. And my answer, the difference between 12 and 7, would be 5. Now, a way that you can remember if a lot of you draw a blank between 12 minus 7, because you do just need to know how to solve that correctly. It's easy to actually count up from 7 to 12 and figure out how much more do I need to get to 12. So 7, you go 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, that would be 5. So you count after 7 all the way to 12, and my difference is 5. 5 is the difference. So that would be my answer. Example 2, you should be writing this down. What is 8 minus 3? So that tells me the order that I'm doing it, because this would be my minus sign. I'm doing 8 minus 3 instead of saying what is the difference when 3 is subtracted from 8. So it tells me the order that I write it, 8 minus 3. My difference is going to be 5 again. When I count up from 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that's 5. 5 is the difference. So these are problems that honestly you should already have memorized by now, reaching up or getting up to 5th grade at least. So addition and subtraction are inverse operations. I want you to go ahead and write these down, because you do need to know this term, inverse operations. That means they're pretty much the opposite. So addition and subtraction are inverse operations. That's our 5th grade vocabulary word for saying that they are the opposite. Whenever I want to prove an answer, I want you, or at least with our 10 commandments of math, I require you to use the inverse operation to be able to solve, or to be able to prove the problem. So if I were to do the opposite, that's what I would do to prove that this is correct. And the way that you can know how to do those is with fact families. A fact family means I have 2 addition facts and 2 subtraction facts using the same 3 numbers. So I have 3 numbers in all of these problems, and I can create them all into fact families by creating addition and subtraction problems. That's inverse operations. I have 2 plus 3 equals 5. And I can do 5 minus 3 equals 2 right here. 5 minus 3 equals 2. So I worked basically same numbers backwards and forwards. Then I have 3 plus 2 equals 5, and I can also do 5 minus 2 equals 3. So really I'm just reading it up and down, backwards and forwards, and it really does not matter which order you write your fact families in, as long as they are the inverse operations and you have the correct 3 numbers. So this actually shows you and helps you to prove your answers. If I were to prove that 2 plus 3 does equal 5, I could prove it by saying, well, because 5 minus 3 equals 2. That means they're a fact family, so 5 is the correct answer. If I were to do 2 plus 3 equals 6, thinking multiplication, then I'd have to prove that 6 minus 3 equals 2, but it does not work. Therefore, it would not be correct. So if you think of your fact families, you should know how to prove an answer, especially if it's addition and subtraction at this point. So example 3, we have write 2 addition facts and 2 subtraction facts for the fact family 3, 4, and 7. So I'm going to write that 3 plus 4 equals 7, and I want you to write these down with me. I can also say that 7 minus 4 equals 3. That's how I would prove this problem, by saying, well, 7 minus 4 has to equal 3, because 3 plus 4 equals 7. Both of these are true, so I've proved those answers. Now I'm gonna continue stumbling over my words. And I have 4 plus 3 equals 7, and also 7 minus 3 equals 4. So those are my 4 different facts. I have 2 addition and 2 subtraction for the fact family 3, 4, and 7. We'll be doing the practice set together in class. Thank you very much for paying attention.